Good morning, everybody. Baked Beans Guys Fitness. Let's talk about the day. So this will probably be mostly for my prepping channel. But so it's Friday the 13th, and you've got terrorist factions calling for violence. So far there's been a teacher stabbed in a school in France. Someone yelling there, whatever they're saying is. And we got some idiots blocking a bridge in New York City. New York City? Eat a rope. It just astounds me at the level of indoctrination that is out there. I mean, tell me you don't have a life by showing me it. And being out in New York City, blocking a bridge, risking somebody just losing it and running you over because it's getting old and people are getting frustrated and they're getting less tolerant. You know, I'll be honest with you. If you're blocking a major road that people need to get to hospitals, you know, police need to get to fire, or, you know, police and firemen need to get to emergency things, and you're blocking it, I think you should be run over. Your mama taught you, stay out of the road. Stay out of the road. Nothing you're doing there is going to change what's going on over there. They've been at each other for 2,000 years, if not longer. Ain't going to change it. And you're not part of a cause. You're an irritant. It's what you are. You're not helping anything out. I see these people, and young and old, and I just look at them going, obviously, there's not enough going on in their life. You know, I seen, when I was out in California, I seen these people, they had been there 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, you know, protesting, you know, President Trump. Beautiful day. 70 degrees and sunny. And here they're on a corner of a street. Their signs up. And I rolled down the window. And I said, get a life. Seriously, sunny, 70 degrees, nice weather. I'm outside. And I'm not holding some damn sign. I'm not out there going, I don't like President Biden. All right? I don't. But I don't need to sit there out in the street and tell people. All right? I tell them my vote. And this gluing your hand to the road, I'd leave you. I'd ask you. I wouldn't sitting there and putting solution out there to free your hand. I'd leave you there for a day or two. I'd make it really painful. So you would think twice before you did something like that, because the same activist does it again next week. Oh yeah, let's sit there and glue myself to the road, and if somebody's really, really in a bad mood and wants to run me over, well, I can't do anything about it because I done glued my ass to the road. The level of stupidity is just astounding. You know, they're talking about lowering the standards of the ASVAB test because they can't fulfill recruitment. The ASVAB test is not that difficult. I'm sorry if you flunked it, but it wasn't that difficult. You just needed to have some basic third grade math, history, and problem solving skills, and you'd have it figured out. So I don't know. I'll continue after I fuel up here. Alrighty, I'm back. Topped off, $3.51.9 a gallon. Let's see what it is next week. So I guess the only military that's meeting its recruitment levels are the Marines. Might have something to do with their motto, the few. Proud of the Marines. But Navy and the Army and Air Force are having problems making their goals, offering huge incentives. And, you know, being in the Army myself, and 2 kids in Navy and 1 still in the Air Force, I could still understand why they're having problems. You know, who wants to go in when there is a war in Ukraine, when there now is a war in the Middle East between Israel and terrorist groups of Palestine, and the potential of things going south in China and Taiwan, North Korea and South Korea, and Russia. I can't blame kids for saying, maybe a trade school might be a better way to go. Can't afford college because, no, they're not going to forgive that loan. And I'll be honest with you, unless you're going into a degree that's going to get you a real career, a liberal arts degree is not the advantage it used to be. Somebody look, oh, you got a liberal arts degree and this person doesn't, I'll give bonus points to that. I don't think employers are looking at it that way anymore. I think they're looking at somebody who went to trade school and showed up to his job every day and doesn't need a safe space, doesn't get offended by words. Maybe I'll hire that person because the chances of them coming to work are far better. So I think I'll hire that one. Not the person that went to a university that's been known for lots of disruptive protests. And I'm looking at it and they got no job history. Is this person going to be a good employee, or is this person going to be a future lawsuit? You make your own games, kids. All right? Karma does finally come around. All right? The reason you're not being successful is not because somebody's rich. All right? The reason that you're living in your mom's basement and not working and you're 30 years old is not because there's a billionaire out there. It's because of you. Now, doesn't make time very easy to do it. No, they're not. Very hard. I'm in my 60s and I'm still working a full-time job and working overtime to make the bills meet and that. And really, when it comes to retirement age, which I actually am at retirement age, and the way the world situation is and the way the economy is going, I'm going to be working for the next couple of years at least. And I have my own problems to deal with in that, but I don't blame some politician. I don't blame some rich person of my problems. All right? They're all on me, and I'll get them settled one way or another. Hopefully, I'll get them settled well. That's just the way it is. And to go out there and try to blame an entity for your own personal problems. Now, when it comes to the problems the country is having, that's a different story. We have a political party, the Democratic Party, or I call it the Democratic Party, that can't define a woman. And who won Woman of the Year? Are you kidding me? Maybe make it a Person of the Year. But Woman of the Year? I'm sorry, it's a dude. So, it can be Person of the Year. Nothing wrong with that. There's no definition on there. But, this is like the fourth time that a award that should belong to a biological woman has been given to a man. World, you've lost your mind. And I don't blame you for losing your mind because people are accepting it. How does it change? You sit there and you write letters, you send emails. You go out there and let them know, I'm not accepting this. Don't glue yourself to a highway. Just don't do that. But you make your voices heard. And too many people are not making their voices heard because, well, understandably, they could lose a job. They could not be accepted to a job because of their social media presence. They could be refused entrance into a university because they made statements towards a political faction. That just happened. Not that I agree with their statements they made, but I agree with their right to make them. You don't bar somebody from a university because they happen to be on the side of one group versus another. It's freedom of speech. Do we have freedom of speech? I don't think so. now. Yeah, you can't yell fire in a theater. You can't do something that's going to cause harm. But you almost have to be careful what you put on social media. There's times I had people say stuff, and I sent them a message, direct message, saying, you really don't want to be putting that out there. That stays out there forever. It's okay to say, listen, I think a woman should get the awards for women. I think men should get awards for men. And the ones that want to identify one way or another, make that person of the year. You can make it an other category. There are solutions. They don't want solutions. They want division. That is what they want, division. They're not looking for solutions. Solutions are pretty much easy. Will you make everybody happy? No, you won't. Life is that way. Get over it. But there's an easy solution. Well, you have to refer to them as their, gender they identify as. Why don't you just refer to them as the name they identify as? Okay? You say your name's Lydia. Hi, Lydia. How you doing? I'm not going to use a he, she, they, ze, thems, whatever. Because I don't do that now. I don't go, hi, Jim, he, him, how you doing? Why would you put that on your Twitter or X thing? He, him. Why would, or she, her? Why would you put that down there? Really? Doesn't even matter. You're George, you're Sheila, you're Carol, you're Julie, whatever your name is. Just identify by your name. See? Problem solved. Don't need no law. There ain't no hate speech. If somebody wants to sit there and say they need to identify in a plural thing, I don't have to do that. Just what name are you today? Oh, you're Patrick? Hi, Patrick. How you doing? Solved. So it's easy solutions to some of the stuff that they try to make a huge problem. Why are they trying to do it? Keep you distracted. What are you keeping distracted of? Well, there's some wars out there, guys, gals, and others. There's some wars out there. And by the recruitment numbers, it seems like most of you young people, and I don't blame you, don't want to be involved. All right? It's different if you're going to fight for your country, fight for your way of life, protect your property and your family. But to go overseas and protect somebody else's that really has nothing to do with you, and I served. I was stationed over in Korea, sitting right on DMZ, staring at the North Koreans. They were staring at us. We had no love for each other. Zero. Had we met in another area, probably would have got along just fine. But I knew what I signed up for. And I signed up right after Vietnam was over. So there wasn't a very good feeling about the military at the time. After it was over, I was not in it. I'm not that old. But I did get some benefits of being in the service. I learned skills. Not skills you can use in the civilian world, but I learned skills. But I also learned how to problem solve. I learned how to continue on a path, how to make a plan, how to follow through, how to work against adversity, how to be responsible, how to be a good father, how to be a good husband, how to be a good friend. The military taught me that. It gave me the basics and the foundation to grow. And you always want to be growing. When you get my age, there's always room for improvement. And right now, we're not trying to grow as a nation. A large portion are not trying to self-grow. So what happens? They look for a cause, climate change. Give you a clue, kiddies. Climate's been changing since the Earth was formed. All right? Pollution, that's a different thing. Stop throwing beer cans out on the roads, betas. And yes, I'm going to sit there and put this towards the males, because I don't think very many females, at least in my experience, I didn't see too many women or girls throw trash on the road. It seems to always been the guys. All right? Chemical companies, treat your stuff. maybe not make such toxic stuff. I don't know, just an idea. Yourself, when you're buying food, read the ingredient label, and you may think twice about buying that food and might want to buy something different. I don't buy pancake syrup. I buy pure maple syrup. What ingredient? Maple syrup. Pancake syrup, read the ingredients back there. You may have to take a chemistry class afterwards. You know, these are things that we can make the world a better place by, A, stop voting a party ticket and actually look at what they've done while they're in an office, and why are you putting the same person in office for 45 decades? That's ridiculous. Start looking at what their actions are. How somebody like Gavin Newsom and Beto O'Rourke can feed you with such blatant propaganda. And once you look into the story 3 levels deep, remember, your best lies are based on something true. You'll understand how full of it these people are. That's the Democratic Party. Now let's switch over to the Republican Party. All right, Republican Party, you need to get your act together. But one thing I'll give the Democratic Party, they all sing the same tune. They do. But one does, they all do. Republican Party, you guys are so divided, you're never going to get anything done. Get your head out of the forward point of contact, get a House Speaker, and get things done. Or I'm going to start writing in candidates. You're playing games. You're posturing. And independents, be a true independent. Don't be a damn Democrat. Don't be a Democrat. I've seen every independent I've researched vote exactly like a Democrat. So you're a Democrat. All right? Sometimes the other side gets things right. And then the House, the Senate, stop making bills that are thousands of pages long. Get all the fat out of it. Tell your donors, yeah, we're not going to be able to give you favors. We actually need to get the country back here. That's my spin on things. You know, so much of this can be easily taken care of by simple solutions, but they don't want simple solutions. They don't want them. You know, I remember President Carter trying so hard at Camp David to make peace between the Palestinians and the Jews. It ain't going to happen. They don't want it. The Palestinians have rejected every offer. Every offer. Only thing they want is the elimination of the other side. Period. That's my take on it. That's after watching them since the early, well, I would say the mid-70s. This is what they've been. They haven't changed. And then I see people make comments about how the latest war is being conducted, and they obviously do not have a tactful or strategic mind. Even some of the creators out there I do enjoy listening to. I'm sorry. Well, they're only giving them 24 hours to move. Yeah, of course they are. You only got to go 13 miles. Well, they can't do that. Yeah, they can. Is it inconvenience? Oh, that definitely is. War is hell. Who pays for it the worst? Civilians. Every war. Every war. And it sucks. But there's at this point, there's no way around it. There really isn't. Why do they only give them 24 hours? Well, you know, why the enemy times sit there and booby trap every damn thing. You know, some people are just looking at that little flash and going, oh, that's terrible. Well, why are they doing it? All right, what would happen if they did? What happens if they give them a week? Well, and they go in there and there's bombs exploding all over the place and it ain't theirs. So, yeah, that war is going to be hell. A lot of civilians are going to pay for it. It's unfortunate on both sides. But now we're letting it spread throughout the whole world. They're calling for Jihad Friday or whatever you want to call it. All right, you're in this country. If you don't support this country, leave. Seriously. And if you do violence, we need to do more violence. Just telling you. The time of trying to be the world's police, I think it's over for this country. We need to stop doing that. We need to take care of our own people here. We need to secure our damn borders. We need to know who's here. And we need to implement the easy solutions to these easy issues. And just because you identify as multiple things doesn't mean you get more rights than me. You got the same rights I have. You don't get any more. You got the same ones. You just want to cry and be paid attention to, in my opinion. That's all it's about. Now, you disagree? Great. You have that right. Everybody has that right. This weekend, everyone, stay safe, be alert. I'd avoid the big cities. I'd avoid any concerts or anything, just saying. Because right now, those are definitely going to be high-value targets to those who don't give a crap about you. They don't care if you die. They don't even care if they die trying to kill you. They don't care. They're not like you. Start understanding that. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful week.